Hi, everybody. My name is Mike, and welcome to our product event. Thank you. This is a webinar where we're going to be showing you how to use PostScript SMS to drive revenue, engagement, retention for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and beyond. Now, Cyber Weekend is exactly 1 month away, which is scary, but also exciting. I know we're feeling the excitement here. If you didn't catch our last webinar, we spoke with 3 brands on their BFCM strategy from last year and how they plan to use PostScript this year to build on their results. They gave us some great advice on how to keep their community engaged, what their strategies are for making SMS a top revenue channel, and what plans they have for this year's promotions. And we were so amped up about what they had to say. We could not just leave it at that. So we want to take it a couple steps further. And today we're going to show you features that you can leverage in PostScript to make that happen for your brand as well. So I have with me today Bree Fairley, our customer education specialist, Alex Meyer, one of our group product managers, and Ashley Hilton, who is PostScript's solutions engineer. These are our experts for the panel today. They are here to dive into PostScript, share some strategies to employ for the next month, ramping up to BFCM, and promotions to run and features that you can take advantage of during BFCM. And most importantly, how do you keep that momentum from BFCM going through December and beyond? And before we close off today, I'm going to come back on stage and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we're measuring success at PostScript using subscriber lifetime value. There are some very small but impactful changes that we're going to make to those metrics, and I'll get to that at the end. But let's jump into the BFCM prep and our great use cases. I'm going to hand it off first to Bree to help us get started.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, everyone. My name is Bree Fairley, and I'm the customer education specialist here at PostScript. I'm super excited to talk with you today about a few strategies to employ ahead of BFCM. As Mike mentioned, we're only 1 month out from Cyber Weekend, so now is the time to be really focusing on gaining SMS subscribers. You can have the best, most well thought out SMS strategy, but without a solid list of subscribers, your messages could end up limited in their impact. That's why using some of this time leading up to BFCM, as well as using the time during Cyber Weekend to focus on your acquisition strategies, is super important. PostScript has several features to help you grow your subscriber list, some that you're probably already aware of and some that might be new to you. All of these you can use to save you time while continuing to grow your list. Let's go ahead and get into the product. I'm here under our pop-up section under acquisition. The first thing I wanted to show you is the ability to schedule your pop-ups. If we come over to the right side of my pop-up, I have the option to schedule. See, now that we're getting down to the wire, time is of the essence. Instead of coming in here at the exact time you'd like to activate a pop-up or potentially forgetting to turn it on at all, you can set it and forget it. Just set the dates and times for when you want to activate and deactivate your pop-up. For example, if you're launching a pop-up on your site during Cyber Week that says something like, sign up for SMS to be the first to know about our Black Friday deals, you can make sure it's ready to go ahead of time. An important thing to remember during Cyber Weekend is that you don't want to turn off your pop-ups. This is a time when you'll have exponentially more people on your website and therefore a huge opportunity to grow your subscriber base. Just make sure your pop-up offer is not less enticing than the promo running on your site, or you might not get folks to opt in. Maybe your offer is to enter a giveaway or a teaser about post-holiday sales. Whatever you decide, just make sure you're still capturing their information. Another productive activity you can do to gear up for Black Friday and Cyber Monday is test your pop-ups. At the bottom of our pop-ups page, you'll find a section on A/B tests. This is a great time to test your pop-ups to find the best combination of creative images, timing, message copy, and incentives. With A/B tests, you can get a better understanding of which pop-up experience captures the attention of your site visitors, so you can effectively create content that resonates and ultimately increases engagement and converts subscribers. Once you're in this section, you can filter by active or completed tests. There's nothing in here now, but if I come up here and go to create a new A/B test, I can select a desktop or mobile test. This is where I'll select which pop-ups I'm testing, as well as the percentage of distribution. Right now, it's defaulting to just 2 variants, both at 50% distribution, but I can add more than just 2. Maybe if I wanted to do like a 50, 30, 20 split, it's up to you. Finish by selecting the pages you like to run the pop-up on, and if you want to exclude any pages, you can add them here too. Once you've done that, you're good to start your test. And to see the results, you can head back to your pop-ups page by clicking on the title of the test. You'll be able to see which pop-up is the current winner. The winner is determined by the conversion rate, and when you end a test, there'll be a recommended winner. You also have the ability to select whichever pop-up you want as the winner based on your own criteria as well. Whichever you choose, the winning pop-up will be automatically activated when you confirm to end the test. Here's an example from an activewear brand who tested 2 mobile pop-ups for just over 3 months, one specifying a 15% discount and one advertising exclusive offers to those who sign up for SMS. We can see here the pop-up with the 15% discount was the clear winner. I also have the pleasure of teasing a few new things we're working on in the pop-ups module. The first is pop-up targeting. If you think about the purpose or the job of a pop-up, it's to grow your list faster. The larger your list, the larger your revenue opportunities. Enhanced pop-up targeting goes a long way to getting you the audience that you want to reach. The next thing we're really excited about is how we're using pop-ups to collect relevant data and information. Getting a phone number is great, but getting a phone number and some sort of preference, like a favorite color, flavor of ice cream, a pet preference, etc., is even better. Right off the bat, this engages your potential customers and shows them that you care about their preferences. To level that up a bit, when collecting this information, you'll also be able to segment based on these attributes, allowing you to deliver a more personalized and engaging experience later in the customer lifecycle, leading to more conversions and more revenue. We're excited to be building these features for you and can't wait to let you know when they're ready. Now, we also believe that SMS and email should work hand in hand, and that's why we're always working on improving our Klaviyo integration. One cool release that just came out in August is the Message Planner. In the Message Planner, you're able to see all of your upcoming and previous SMS campaigns. What makes it truly beneficial is through our Klaviyo integration, you can also see your upcoming email sends all in your PostScript dashboard. We're dedicated to making sure you have a comprehensive view of your current marketing sending cadence so that your messaging strategy is always aligned. The last thing I wanted to mention is that in 2021, there was a 69% cart abandonment rate across all devices on Black Friday alone. So before we get into the excitement of Cyber Weekend, we recommend that you check in on your current cart abandonment automations to make sure they're all set up and ready to go. If you don't already have one created, no worries. It only takes a few minutes to set up. Just incentivize shoppers to come back with a holiday-specific discount code or a free shipping offer, or remind them to check out before the item in their cart goes out of stock. This will be especially effective during the holiday season. I hope this gave you some ideas about what you can do in the next month leading up to BFCM to grow your subscriber list and convert high-intent subscribers with automations. Now I'm going to hand things off to Alex for more exciting updates.
Thanks, Bree. And hey, everyone, my name is Alex Meyer, and I'm excited to get into how you can use PostScript to really enhance the revenue that you generate during Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend. But first, I want to start out with a little announcement that you may not have heard yet. We've partnered with Twilio, who is the leading carrier aggregator in the United States, to provide you with better deliverability and throughput during BFCM and beyond. That way, you can focus on your job, which is, of course, wowing your customers and driving revenue, and not have to worry about whether or not your messages are getting to your subscribers. With this new partnership, PostScript becomes one of Twilio's preferred SMS vendors, and Twilio becomes PostScript's exclusive global customer engagement platform. So why should you care about any of this? This means that with this new partnership, on big sale days like Cyber Weekend, when there are lots of messages being sent out and the timing of those messages becomes incredibly important, PostScript will have real-time visibility into these queues, allowing us to proactively identify and smooth out any delays before they impact our merchants. This gives us the ability to manage traffic up to the minute during a time when we know every second counts. Not to mention, this will also give us triple the amount of the bandwidth that we had during this time last year, which means that you'll have better throughput for all of our merchants on both toll-free numbers and short codes. All of this is to say that your messages will be delivered correctly and fast, especially when it matters most. All right, so now we're ready to hop into PostScript. For our demo today, we'll be working in Flow Builder and looking at an example campaign that you can use on Black Friday. By now, hopefully you've been able to check out and use our Flow Builder product, but if you haven't, you're missing out on some incredible features as we will be showing you here today. It's a great tool for helping you to plan out and configure both your campaigns and automations. We're also continuing to add new features to it constantly, so definitely check it out. All right, so we're currently looking at a campaign that you can use as an initial touch point and follow-up reminder on Black Friday. It's worth noting that sending a follow-up text to your subscribers who don't place an order after getting an initial text is a highly effective strategy that we've seen our top brands use to remind subscribers about an offer. In fact, during Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend last year, our team noticed that shops that sent a follow-up message after their first campaign earned 40% more revenue than those who only sent one message. So we highly encourage you to use a follow-up strategy for important campaigns like the ones you'll be sending during Cyber Weekend. All right, so let's get into the details here. So just like how you would start a single message campaign, we start out by selecting the segment that we want to target. Here, you'll see we've chosen to target all of our customers and subscribers because we want our entire list to get this particular promotion. But of course, feel free to choose the segment that's right for you and your use case. One other thing to call out here is that Campaign Flows also supports the ability to exclude a segment or recently messaged subscribers. And while we're not excluding anybody for this demo, you could use this functionality to exclude recent purchasers, subscribers who haven't engaged with you in over a year, or anybody who received the message from your brand in the last 16 hours. These are some great features for making it easy on you to target the right people at the right time for your particular campaigns. Next, you'll also notice that I've added a cancellation trigger to this campaign setup. This removes anybody from the flow as soon as they place an order. This is brand new functionality that we've recently added to our campaign flows, making it much easier to ensure that you're not messaging people who don't need to be messaged, helping you to save more money. Okay, so now that we've set up our campaign flows properties, the next step is to set up the actual content of the flow itself. The first step in this flow is simple enough. We're just sending out a first message about our sale. This is really the meat of the campaign. In this message, we've made sure to let our subscribers know about the sale that we're running and any discount information that they should be aware of. And since this campaign is all about making sure to send a follow-up message to our subscribers who don't purchase after getting this message, the next step in our flow is about setting up that delay. So now setting up the delay really comes down to the specifics of how you want to run your campaign. For our purposes here, you'll notice that we set up a delay to wait until the late afternoon on Black Friday before sending out our follow-up reminder. We've done this because it's our intention to schedule this flow to go out first thing in the morning on Black Friday. That gives people all day to make a purchase before getting that reminder message, but enough time after that reminder goes out to give them time to use that special offer. However, you can also approach this in whatever way works best for you. For example, if you have a much shorter window for your sale, you could set this to go out earlier in the day. And also, because of how flexible we built this particular feature, you could also choose to send it a certain number of hours after that initial message goes out instead of scheduling it. Finally, for those of you who are on our enterprise tier plans, you can even choose to target when this message goes to your subscribers based on what time zone that they are in. This gives you a ton of different options to choose from so that you can do what's best for your brand and your customers. Finally, the last step in our flow here is to send out that reminder text. Remember that since we are removing anybody who makes a purchase from this flow, this text will only be targeting those subscribers who received the first message but have yet to purchase by this point. For this specific message, we're trying to create a sense of urgency and a call to action to our customers. Depending on your specific needs, you might want to add in an expiration date or express that you have limited inventory. Okay, so let's take a step back now and think about this full flow altogether. You can view the first text in this flow as kind of planting that seed and the last text as a little nudge to encourage your customers to make a purchase. And that's it. That's all it takes to set up a Black Friday sale campaign with a reminder follow-up. I hope that this has inspired you to go out and create your own this Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And don't forget that you can also use the same strategy each day of the BFCM weekend, depending on the sales that you are running. And we also know that it's a lot to set up these campaigns from scratch. So we're making it extra easy on you and helping you to save time by adding a number of different Cyber Weekend templates that you can use whenever you need them. We hope that these templates can help inspire you and get you started, but remember to add your own brand's voice to them rather than just using them outright, as many of your subscribers are probably also subscribed to merchants as well. So you don't want your subscribers to get the same message from all their favorite brands. So use our templates to give you some inspiration, but also be sure to add your own brand's personality and special touch too. Now, of course, Cyber Weekend is all about the discounts. So to follow up with what Bree mentioned earlier about our improved integration with Klaviyo, whenever PostScript generates a unique coupon for a particular subscriber, we also send that information to Klaviyo, where that coupon will be stored on the subscriber's profile there. That way you can use it in both your SMS and email messages. In addition to passing coupons to Klaviyo, you can also create targeted PostScript segments and filter out subscribers based on in their automations based on their Klaviyo activity. This means that you can send an SMS campaign to subscribers who may have received a particular Klaviyo email but never clicked the link in it, making your SMS campaigns more targeted and therefore even more effective. Finally, the integration goes both ways as well. We also send click data back to Klaviyo, giving you the ability to use how a subscriber behaves in SMS to better target your email campaigns. All right, so that's it for me. I hope this has given you some insights and inspiration for what you can do during Cyber Weekend this year. Now I'm going to hand it off to Ashley, who will be sharing with you what you can do after Black Friday and Cyber Weekend is over to make sure that you don't leave any money on the table.
Thanks, Alex. Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Hilton. I'm a solutions engineer here at PostScript. So now that Black Friday and Cyber Monday are over, it's time to relax, right? Well, not so fast. You've likely just had excellent subscriber engagement building up during BFCM. You should really make sure you're keeping those subscribers engaged and interested even beyond those large sale days. December and January offer plenty more opportunities to not only generate additional SMS revenue, but also nurture those newly acquired subscribers to make sure they stick with you for the long haul, rather than bailing when their holiday shopping is done. We're going to walk through a couple of campaign examples that you can use to keep your subscribers engaged even after Cyber Weekend. The vast majority of holiday shoppers are still crossing recipients off their list in December, so it's important to stay in touch with your subscribers and their holiday gifting needs throughout this month. One great way to tackle this is to create a holiday gift guide campaign. Sending out a holiday gift guide campaign in early December will allow you to engage your subscribers while also getting valuable information about them as well. Let's take a look at one I've got set up in Flow Builder. The great thing about Flow Builder is it makes it easy to create and send personalized automated responses when a subscriber replies to your messages. This really helps to recreate that in-person shopping experience. I've got the holiday gift guide set up to send to all my customers and exclude anyone that has purchased in the last 7 days. The first message we'll send will be looking to kick off the entire flow. And what's important to note about this is that it not only prompts our subscribers to engage with us for the rest of the flow, but also sets the tone on how they'll communicate with you. Remember, when using SMS as a marketing channel, you should really use this to talk to your customers like human beings, just like a friend. You'll see in my message, I've let them know they still got some time to shop for friends and family and to respond with who they're shopping for. In my example, they can respond with skincare recommendations, makeup, and fragrance. Next, I've inserted a wait for event branch in my flow. This is going to wait for a subscriber response split, and I've allotted the time of up to 24 hours. In this, Flow Builder was meant to be flexible, and a great use case of this is using the contains option. So if your subscriber's response includes any of the words you selected, it will still capture that response and funnel them to the correct branch. We all know how easy it is to send a message with typos. From here, you could send a message to your subscriber with a product recommendation based on the response. However, I've chosen to get even more granular, and before sending them a suggestion, I've requested their holiday budget. You'll see I've added another wait for subscriber response split here with options that branch based on their budget requirements. Again, I've used the contains option so that I cast the widest net for subscriber responses. Additionally, once they respond, we can now add an action in the flow that updates the subscriber's properties and saves that information for us. I've tagged these as skincare 25, 50, and 100, but you can tag whatever information is valuable to you. Tagging subscribers based on their response allows you to use this information to segment them in a future campaign and create hyper-targeted flows so that you have even more opportunities to engage with your subscribers. Now that we've added our subscriber tag, we can add the message with our gift recommendation. Here I've added a message for my under $25 skincare suggestion, but you can easily duplicate this message for the rest of your branches and edit the copy to save some time. Be sure to include a link here with a call to action. If you'd like to add the discount, feel free to use the discount link. Otherwise, just use the product link. Now, you may have noticed in the wait for event actions I added, there's always an extra branch. This flow will be sent to subscribers who either don't reply in that 24-hour time frame or respond with something different. This branch is great for a gift card or for a link to bestsellers. And there you have it. This gift guide can be used to tease new products, promote bestsellers, and ultimately create engagement with subscribers, which is one of the most important things when driving a successful SMS campaign. Next, we're going to take a look at a UGC campaign. It's no secret that authentic reviews are one of the most important factors in influencing shoppers' buying decisions. With that in mind, after Christmas is a prime time to ask your subscribers for their thought after a purchase. Once again, I'm working out a flow builder, and I've started by segmenting my audience by targeting customers who have purchased in the last 30 days. I've kicked off my campaign by sending them a message asking them to send back a photo with a branded hashtag, which is how we'll designate our response branches in the next step. All I've done is incentivize them with a giveaway. Each response is entered in a chance to win a $50 gift card. Once the subscribers respond, they are once again updated with a subscriber tag. I chose UGC Holiday 2022, which allows us to group all of the subscribers who responded into one segment, making it easier to leverage this data for later segments as well as determine a winner for the giveaway. This UGC campaign is a great way to keep your subscribers engaged past the holidays and into the new year as well as get them excited about more content coming from your brand. What we've just covered are two of the campaigns that you can use after BFCM, and we've got several templates ready to go in the product as well. Other ideas include stocking stuffer campaigns, a VIP loyalty campaign, and if you do nothing else in December, definitely promote those gift cards. That is an excellent last minute campaign you can send that will drive some easy revenue. When it's getting close to crunch time, try sending a shipping deadline campaign, letting your customers know when the last possible time to make a purchase is to receive it by the holidays. Once they make those orders, there's no doubt that your customers will want to-the-minute updates on them. From a customer's perspective, purchasing and receiving the order are the two most important steps in the customer buying journey. That's where transactional messaging comes in. I'm a huge fan of transactional messaging. Order received, order shipped, order delivered. Every messages gets me excited. But these messages are also big opportunities to connect with your customers and have additional touch points beyond just promotions and standard automations. With our transactional messaging feature, customers can opt in to receive transactional messages only. These messages are order related only and they restrict any promotional marketing type language. So you'll have two types of subscribers: marketing subscribers who can receive both of those messages, and transactional subscribers who only want those transactional messages. Your transactional subscribers can convert to marketing subscribers using any of your existing opt-in channels, such as a pop-up on your keyword or a keyword on your website or anything they see on social media. And since they're already getting transactional text from you, building that relationship with your brand, many of them will likely end up converting. If you're interested in learning more about using transactional messaging for your brand, reach out to your CSM to get started. I hope these suggestions and recommendations help to get some of those creative juices flowing with your brand's SMS campaigns. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I'm going to pass it on to Mike to discuss subscriber lifetime value.
Okay. Wow. Ashley, thank you. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see me. There we go. All right. That was a ton of great examples of how SMS can help any shop maximize revenue over Cyber Weekend and beyond. The gift guide in particular is absolutely awesome. I hope that you all are feeling super inspired, ready to crush it this Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So now I want to talk about how we think about measurement of SMS here at Postscript. We might be biased, but we think that SMS is the most important channel of the decade. And because of that, we really believe that it needs its own measurement framework. So that's where subscriber lifetime value, or subscriber LTV for short, comes into play. All the answers to building a top tier SMS strategy lie within subscriber LTV. So you can think of it like your SMS crystal ball. And for some of you, this might be new, but for others, if you've attended previous events, or if you've had in-depth conversations with our genius Postscript CSMs, subscriber LTV should hopefully be familiar, but I'm going to do a refresher to make sure that everyone understands what we're talking about. All right. So how did this measurement come about in the first place? We looked at our most successful customers, and what we realized was that their approach to the channel was completely different than their peers. They were optimizing for a completely different outcome because they knew that the channel, SMS itself, required it. It's completely different. So we took those customers, We analyzed their approach to the channel, and then we built subscriber LTV. And it's a proprietary data-driven framework that we built that allows any merchant to adopt the same type of strategy and drive the same type of results as Postscript's highest performing customers over SMS. So subscriber LTV, accompanied by list size and list growth, is the e-commerce marketer's North Star for SMS marketing. And the reason for this is it captures the right nuances for today's world. You have to align what customers want, which is a good experience, value from brands that they trust, with what merchants want, which is more revenue. The measurement is also forward-looking, which means that we can predict the potential value of the program. So the formula helps you understand the amount of revenue that you should be able to capture from each new subscriber. And as your subscriber LTV rises, revenue and ROI follow. So by increasing both list size and subscriber LTV, you are literally putting future dollars in your brand's pocket. I know that's what we all want to do. So that's very exciting. So let's talk about what drives subscriber LTV. These are the underlying metrics that we use to arrive at a potential or a predictive lifetime value for every single subscriber. They all work together to make sure that you're driving a balanced approach to the channel. So I'm going to quickly define these for you, and then I'm going to talk about a small but impactful change that we're making to this formula. So first, we have acquisition rate. It's the number of subscribers you capture for every single order that your store generates. Revenue per message, pretty self-explanatory. How much do you make per message sent? Now, messages per subscriber is exactly what you think it is. It's how many messages does an average subscriber get per month from your brand. And then finally, we have unsubscribe rate, which tracks the subscribers that opt out of your list. And in this case, we're looking at a 30-day cohorted view because our data shows that subscribers are 5 times more likely to unsubscribe in the first 30 days. That's a fun little tip that you'll only hear from Postscript. If you win the first 30 days of an SMS relationship, you can radically decrease unsubs. So for today, I want to highlight this D30 unsubscribe rate, or the U in these RMU metrics. Since it does focus on those first 30 days of a subscriber's life cycle, it's incredibly important. So think of it this way. If you cannot retain your subscribers at a very, very high rate in those first few weeks, you're going to find it very challenging to maximize your SMS program over the long run. However, we felt unsubscribe rate didn't properly represent the importance of the metric, nor what the best performing brands are actually doing to increase revenue and pump up the subscriber LTV number. So as of today, D30 unsubscribe rate is changing to D30 retention rate. Now, this is a small but pretty meaningful shift in how we think about subscriber lifetime value in RMU, or what is now ARMOR. Now, we didn't want to just make this shift because it's got a better acronym. We're excited to make this shift, and because acting on ARMOR and improving subscriber lifetime value is more clear for you, for our customers. So before I dive into why we're so excited about it, I want to define D30 retention rate a little bit. And it's very simple. It is just the inverse of D30 unsubscribe rate. The retention metric is still focused on those all-important first 30 days of a subscriber's life cycle, but instead of focusing on the percent of subscribers who've left, we're instead focusing on those who've stayed. So the formula for a D30 retention rate is literally 100% minus D30 unsubscribe rate. So let's think of it another way. If your D30 unsubscribe rate is 25%, that means your D30 retention rate is 75%. If your D30 unsub rate is 20%, then your D30 retention rate is 80%. It's a very, very simple switch, but it's also pretty meaningful because we see the highest performing merchants are focused on retaining and engaging their subscribers, not annoying and losing them. So the stakes are really high here. And the reason that we keep coming back to subscriber LTV is because of Postscript's mission, which is to make SMS your #1 revenue channel. This is totally possible. We've seen it with brands like Dr. Squatch. We've seen brands like Feastable sell literally millions of dollars worth of candy bars in the first 6 months on the channel. We've seen Death Wish Coffee drive 64x ROI on their campaigns. But it doesn't happen by just blasting discount codes over and over and over again. It also doesn't happen when you're too scared to send messages. You reach results like these by sending engaging, meaningful messages that add value. And the shift from unsubscribe to retention, or ARM to armor, encapsulates this reality. To be successful in SMS, you have to be focused on the customer's long-term journey on this channel. And that's the spirit behind subscriber LTV. It's about long-term value. And to deliver long-term value, you have to be customer-centric. What we've seen over and over again across our 9,000 customers is that PostScript and great customer experiences do not stand in opposition to maximizing revenue growth. In fact, the opposite is true. Brands that purposefully engage in relationships with their customers generate significant more revenue than merchants who use the channel best discounts and one-way blasts. Our data demonstrates this. Now, it makes total sense too. When you think about it, we text each other back and forth all day long. It's obviously the natural way to use this channel. And delivering a natural, meaningful, valuable experience for your subscribers is by far the most effective way to engage via SMS. And revenue, more sales, is the reward for delivering a conversational experience. So retention is a much more appropriate representation of this. And that's why we made this change. That's why we're excited to keep improving the SMS strategy that we share with our merchants. All right, so this webinar was meant to be all about you, the merchant, and helping you use our product for BFCM and beyond. So I'm going to tie this all together. The first thing that you'll notice is that as of today, in your dashboard at login, you will see D30 retention rate. And along with that, you have the 3 other armor metrics and your subscriber LTV number. Above that is total earned revenue, total subscribers, overall unsubscribe rate, not the D30 unsubscribe rate that we just retired. Again, all you have to do, log in, go to your dashboard, and you can see everything. And between these 2 sets of numbers, you should have your navigation panel to direct you on how to blow your BFCM numbers out of the water this year. And if you have questions, of course, you can reach out to your CSM. If you do not have a CSM, reach out to us and we can talk about how to get you set up. So how do you actually use these metrics in this framework as we head into Cyber Weekend? Let's take an example, Harry's Holiday Shop. All right, as we're heading into BFCM, the shop is actually looking pretty good. Revenue per message, best in class, almost 50 cents a message. Retention rate, incredibly high. Subscriber LTV, really solid according to our benchmarks. However, there are some opportunities to up the SMS game here and drive even more revenue and add even more value to the customers, especially during this most important time of year. So first, acquisition rate. While it's okay, it's definitely not as strong as we want. So you need to remember list size is the other lever when it comes to maximizing the total potential value of your SMS program. So Harry, he should really be working to build that list and drive the A score up along with subscriber LTV. And the second area we'd recommend they focus on is that very, very, very low messaging score of just 1.9 messages per month. If you message that low, not only are you not going to actually drive revenue results, but you're going to risk that no relationship can actually form with your customers. If you message that infrequently, you're more likely to get a response from a potential customer that says, how did I get on this list, than driving any sort of meaningful engagement over the channel. So considering this is the most important time of year for D2C brands, we want to make sure that Harry gets the most out of his program. So what we suggest is to experiment with that messaging rate. Typically, we'd recommend slowly increasing messages to about 4 per month. But since we're heading into BFCM, we'd want to bump that up to 6 to make sure that the list gets warmed back up. But remember, we can't just send one-way blasts and discounts all day long. So this would mean fewer direct CTAs and potentially some automations or campaigns like the BFCM Holiday Gift Guide that are more conversational. And the result, what we would see is probably a slight decrease in revenue per message, a slight hit to the D30 retention rate, but nothing to be alarmed by. As you can see, Harry and his shop would still be completely in the green according to our subscriber LTV benchmarks. And by just increasing messages sent and keeping retention rate and revenue per message in the green, subscriber LTV would go from $43.50 to $70.80. That's more than a 60% improvement in revenue that can be driven by SMS, which is absolutely huge over BFCM and beyond. What's more is we probably work with Harry and his shop to bump that acquisition rate from the yellow benchmark, get them squarely in the green there. And as Bree mentioned earlier, BFCM is a great opportunity to build your list and pay yourself forward. We want to make sure that this shop doesn't miss that opportunity to benefit from a natural influx in web traffic. So from here, we'd see how the holiday campaigns fared. We would determine whether we need to increase or decrease, maybe keep messages the same. We'd want to experiment with branding campaigns and transactional messaging and see how the subscriber LTV framework actually responded. And overall, this is an excellent improvement. Harry should be in for a very, very profitable BFCM. All right. So I know that was a ton of information, but we have recorded this. We're going to be sending it out to all of you so you can watch it as many times as you need to. We've mentioned several items through the event that you can use to help your brand strategize during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, such as the ultimate BFCM planner, the holiday gift guide tutorial, the templates that are inside the product. We will make sure that you get all of that in your inbox with the recording from today's webinar as well. Our team's also hosting weekly strategy webinar sessions, keeping BFCM and holiday planning top of mind. So if you want to sign up for those, or if there are any topics that we covered here today that you want to learn more about, please reach out to your CSM. We are excited to help you step up your SMS game. I'd like to say thank you to Bree, Alex, Ashley for walking us through these BFCM use cases. Thank you to all of you for taking time out of what I know is a very, very, very busy time of year to be with us today. We cannot wait to see all your success throughout BFCM and beyond. So from the team at Postscript, thank you. Talk soon.